Hi there. Tonight for Cast Iron Wednesday, for the month of May, it's the whole challenge is Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to make a Mexican lasagna in the Dutch oven. Okay, tonight I'm going to make a Mexican lasagna in the Dutch oven. It's going to be my contribution to Cast Iron Wednesday, which was created by Dee over at Native Tears. So I suggest you go over to her channel and take a look at some things. She's got some pretty cool stuff, and then she's got a playlist that she's been doing for the last 2 years now for Cast Iron Wednesday, and just keeps adding everybody's videos to that. So this will be my contribution to this month's Cast Iron Wednesday, which has the theme of Cinco de Mayo for the whole month of May. I apologize too if I seem a little out of sorts. My back is really bothering me today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got 2 pounds of ground beef. It's supposed to be 1.5, but what are you going to do with the other half, you know? And it's a 12-inch Dutch oven, so it'll be plenty. This recipe was given to me by Lorraine out there at Royal Tyne Outfitters in Montana when I went out there a few years back ago for cook school. It's nice of her to give me this. I've made a few variations to it, but it's so I've got 2 pounds of beef that's going to crumble up. And this is an 80-20 blend. Don't tell my wife. Yeah. She'd much prefer I buy a leaner blend, but right now, the way things are in the store, I was just lucky to find this. There's not much of anything in the store anymore. Okay, got a full onion and 1 jalapeno. I went with a baseball size onion and a pretty reasonable size jalapeno. The jalapeno is my addition to this recipe. And there's a seasoning blend, which was, let me see if I can remember this part of it right. There's salt, probably not enough. Black pepper, cumin, chili powder, and a little bit of red pepper. I went with the ground red pepper instead of the pepper flakes. And that's the seasoning blend for this. And oh, I wanted to show you, I am, because of this coronavirus thing, and we can move around some now, but I'm still laid off and my unemployment has not kicked in, so there's really no place for me to go, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on anything, so I have been making myself some camp utensils. So this one I just finished this morning, so it'll be its little debut. I had a walnut tree fall down last fall, and so this is all from that. Oh, sorry, I forgot the big deal part. And I've got 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. I was going to go with the seasoned variety, but again, there's not much in the stores these days. So we're going to let this cook down. I'm going to kind of stir it all together real fast. debut, remember. So we're going to I may have needed to get a bigger frying pan, but I am also going to slide this video into my Meals for Basecamp playlist. I know I'm primarily doing it as a Cast Iron Wednesday, but it's a perfect meal for base camping. And I know you've heard me say this in a couple other videos that if I ever grow up, and what I would want to do with myself is to be a camp cook. So I may have missed out on that opportunity, but it's where my passions are anyhow. So I'm just going to slide it into that also. So I'm not going to make you watch the entire cooking of this meat and tomato sauce recipe, but anyhow, this is where we're at, and once it gets done, I'll come back with you. It's coming along nicely. I really probably should have used my chicken fryer skillet. It's the next biggest one I have, but this thing, it's going to work out. But man, anything more would really be causing a mess. So we're making a sauce, so the meat's really never going to, like brown up and super crumbly and stuff like that. But it's cooking down nicely. I'm going to continue to let this cook a few more minutes, probably 10. But it's doing nice. My brand new spatula seems to be working just fine. I'll have to go in the house, I guess, maybe, and find the spatula that I modeled it after. But it's anyhow, it's doing okay. I'm happy with it. Okay, it has been a lot longer than whatever I said, the 10 or 15 minutes, but this is nice. For lack of any other way of describing it, it's like a chili dog, hot dog type of sauce. Looks-wise, it don't have all the flavors for that, but if you had to describe what it looks like, that's what it's going to be. Okay. I am going to try to do this without making a terrible mess. So something I learned to do with lasagnas and stuff like that in a Dutch oven to help prevent from things sticking on the bottom of the oven is to put a very, very small layer of your meat sauce on the bottom. The downfall is you don't have that solid base like you would with a lasagna at from the oven and stuff, in a casserole dish and stuff. But it will save things from sticking really bad in the end. So I've got just a really light layer, and I'm just kind of putting it in, like about half a ladle at a time, and then just kind of packing it down there. So it's just a very small layer on the bottom, and then compared to just a regular Italian lasagna and pasta noodles, we are going to use flour tortillas, and I have no idea how many we're going to use. I've done this a few times before with corn tortillas, and they have worked out really well. The thing with corn tortillas is they're tougher. So if you try to cut into it with the side of your fork and stuff, they don't really cut so well. Or if you're scooping it out with a a metal spoon or a spatula or something like that, they don't cut up as good. So the recipe calls for flour tortillas, and that's the way I'm going to do it this time. So I've got, 4 in there? And it looks like it's probably going to be something closer to 6. Okay. Now at this point we're just going to layer it like you would any other lasagna. So we're going to put a little bit of meat. Calls for a cup total of cottage cheese, and I've got a lot more than that. But anyhow, I'm going to try to keep it down to the way it's supposed to be. And a shredded cheddar, and I went with a Fiesta. Well, depending on who you use. I don't have enough cheese. I went with a Fiesta blend from Walmart, and then Kroger's version of that is Mexican blend. So either way, it's a combination of Southwestern and Mexican cheeses. And my addition to that is I diced up a bunch of cilantro leaves, about half of a bunch, and I'm going to kind of add that with the cottage cheese layer. And I think that is probably about half of the meat, which I hope so, because I need enough for a second layer. And I think maybe just a little bit more right in that little corner right there. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that really pretty? Okay, excuse me for a second. Okay, so I've got, like I said, about half of a bunch of cilantro leaves, which I'm going to use about half of that. Put that in there. Kind of like yay. And I've got, what, 24 ounces of cottage cheese. And see, even with regular lasagna, this is the part I kind of mess up, because I wind up putting it on thick. I don't like kind of blending it around too much, so I wind up using more than I'm supposed to. That's okay, it always tastes good. Yeah, see, even already I have used, like probably the amount that the whole recipe is going to call for, and I've only used it on one layer. Okay, and the next thing is cheese. And another layer of cheese. And I think a little bit more on this little corner right there. Yeah, that would do good. Yeah. No, there isn't that much left in this bag, so we'll just, okay. Can't go wrong with cheese, right? Okay. And then from here I'm just going to turn the cameras off, but it is a second layer just like we did that, finishing on the top with some more cheese. Okay, and see, there's the final product. Beautiful, huh? Okay, so we're going to put 350 degrees, and it's a little cool out here, so I'm going to put two more on top than I normally would have. 12, 15. So I'm going to put 17 on top. And then we're going to cook this for 35 minutes. It's pretty hot when you stick your hand right over top of it. Ooh. Like every day that I want to do something so far this spring, they are calling for rain soon, so it's clouding up now, and well, it's not going to rain while we cook, but I am trying to rush just the same. So 35 minutes, and we'll probably every 10 come around and spin. I usually, this oven's pretty generic, so it doesn't have any kind of labels. I was watching a guy from Texas, and he had a pretty cool little pattern that he kept always the Lodge logo and stuff right in front of him, so he always kept track of his spin. But this one's pretty generic. My routine normally is the lid goes counterclockwise and the body goes clockwise. And I couldn't explain it other than it's just the way I've been doing it. So, again, 35 minutes, and every 10 minutes or so we'll rotate things around. Okay, it's been 25 minutes or so, and I just took a very quick peek on it a second ago. I'm going to show you what it looks like really fast, and then my goal is to take all the bottom coals, throw it on the top lid, and just blast it with upward heat for a few minutes just to darken the cheese up. But that's how we're looking right now. All nice and gooey cheese. I don't want to leave the lid open too long because I don't want all my heat to escape. But so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take all these coals, put them on top for a few minutes, maybe 5, 7, something like that, and we should be eating. Okay, it's been, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes. Let's see how we're doing here. These coals are about spent, so the whole thing's been cooking probably close to 45. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. So that's what we got. Mexican lasagna. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to bring it in the house. I'm going to let it set for, I don't know, another 5 minutes or so, just so the cheese can set up. And then get my wife eating. And I'll come out here for a quick second and just give you guys a look and do a little taste sampling and stuff. Okay, so let's see how we did. I didn't let it sit probably long enough, so things didn't firm back up. And the first one's the hardest to get out of the Dutch oven anyhow. But overall, I think I held on to it pretty good. So here is how it looks. I hope you can see that. Here, that's probably a better view right there. Now let's see how it come out. You can, we did not, but you can top it with some green onions, some bell peppers, some olives, maybe even some more cilantro. It's up to you really how you treat it after this point, but it anyhow, let's see how we did. Meat's got good flavor. Yep. And here's a piece with the tortillas. They really resemble the lasagna noodles at this point. Yep. They really do resemble the lasagna noodles. Came out really good. Cilantro has a nice little citrusy sort of twang to it. So I want to thank you for watching my Cast Iron Wednesday. I encourage you to go look up other people's Cast Iron Wednesdays and check out Dee over at Native Tears. She's the one who's keeping the playlist together. So check out her stuff. And I guess we'll see you next time.